going on, YouTube? Welcome back to AV Automatic Victory, where we all win together through peace, love, and transparency. And speaking of victories, shout out to the LA Lakers. Laker gang, 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 gang. So, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the Los Angeles Lakers, since they are the greatest NBA team of all time, in my personal opinion. So throughout this video, I'm just going to be breaking down what has been going on with the LA Lakers throughout this past week, as well as breaking down what are some things that I do like about the Lakers and what are some of the things that I think the Lakers do need to improve on. So as far as with the LA Lakers, they are currently 14-6, so they haven't played that many games. The season is still early. So a few things that I do like about the current LA Lakers team. We're very good in field goal percentage and three-point percentage. So right off the bat, this team is a team that's not rushing their shots. They're not forcing things or anything the case may be. They're taking pretty good, great, concise shots. And that's really, obviously that has a lot to do with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Obviously, when you have two of the top 5 best players in the league, but you also have a solid bench, led by Montrezl Harrell, Taylor Horton-Tucker, and Kyle Kuzma. So when you have guys like that coming off your bench, as well as a great cast that's starting with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, you're going to get a top offense. That's just right off the bat. One of the things that I do not like about the Lakers so far, and this is kind of quite surprising that I realized when I was looking over the stats for my favorite team, is that the Lakers are a much better team on the road, but when they play at home, they're not terrible when they play at home. It's just that for some reason, the Lakers are just better when they're having like road games as opposed to home games. And I guess at this point, with the pandemic still going on and with fans not really being in the stadiums like that, I guess it's just more so when you take that element around, players are just going to focus more so about the game itself rather than having the fans to actually cheer you on and give you that energy, or the case may be. However, I do feel that as the season progresses, the Lakers will become much more better of a home team. And I just feel like, once they get more acquainted with, having better communication, especially on the perimeter defensive side, this team is going to just blow up teams without any question. I think it's just a matter of time, and I think it just comes down to communication with everybody that's on the court within the second half, particularly in the middle of the fourth quarters. And then, of course, it just comes down to, situational lineups. So depending on which team the Lakers play and how they're going about those teams, like throughout that first half, and then what they do differently in the second half. And now I'm gonna go into which Laker has impressed me the most throughout this season. Without question, is Dennis Schroeder. The fact that Dennis Schroeder was traded over this past season for Danny Green and a second round pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder. When Dennis Schroeder when he got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, he let everyone be known, like, I'm not here to come off the bench. I'm not here to be a role player. I'm here to start. I'm here to play alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and there's not shit that you can tell me. And from the time that he's talk the talk, he's also been doing the walk to walk, because this guy has been the perfect combo guard for the LA Lakers. I can't even remember the last time we actually had a great point guard that was legitimately a great combo guard, other than, say, I don't know. See, I can't even think, because it's been that long since we had an actual great, consistent point guard that can not only, take charge at the paint or, make his own play, off the dribble, but a guy that just knows how to play an actual true combo guard. And a lot of people would be surprised. He's actually done, not only has he been scoring a lot of points for the Lakers, but he's also been an actual great facilitator as well. especially when you have LeBron James off the court as well. Dennis Schroeder is a underrated passer. Like, people don't realize this. Maybe Dennis Schroeder's fans realize this, but I've noticed this even when he used to play for the Atlanta Hawks. So Dennis Schroeder, without question, is my most impressive Laker. And then, of course, right behind him, clearly Montrezl Harrell. The fact that we have Montrezl Harrell is still like shocking to me to this day. That's Mr. Midas Touch. And the reason why I call Montrezl Harrell Midas Touch is because it's not just because his ability to just have like such a great game around the paint on the offensive end, but just more so in terms of how contagious his energy is. When Montrezl Harrell is having a great game and he's really like getting it, that Midas Touch is very infectious. If he feels great, if he's hyped, if he's really excited, and if he's getting the job done, 9 times out of 10, the Lakers bench is getting the job done as well. And then finally, as far as what the Lakers need to do to just improve their record and to have better games moving forward, I think it just comes down to communication, especially with the perimeter defense. Me personally, I feel like it just comes down to Frank Vogel just making, some situational rotations into the lineup, especially through the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter to the rest of the game. That tends to be like the pretty much time frame when the Lakers really start to like lose their edge a little bit, especially if it's a team where they're going neck and neck. Like, perfect example, last night when they played the Detroit Pistons, they actually played well from the first half all the way into that third quarter. But once it got into the fourth quarter, particularly around the half of the fourth quarter, that was when you had a lot of miscommunications. You had, a lot of players on the Lakers side weren't doing good in terms of, not paying attention to the off-screen cuts, things of that nature. And so I just feel like moving forward, the Lakers just have to improve on the perimeter defensive side. So whether that means you have to put in players and give more minutes to players such as Taylor Horton-Tucker, who I believe has been absolutely phenomenal. As Caruso, he tends to be more of like that defensive gadfly that's always like giving like point guards and ring players problems. I'm actually surprised that Dennis Schroeder has been having issues with, defending around like the perimeter as well. But I think over time, this team will be a very great defensive team. So as far as the idea of getting a great player like, say, Bradley Beal to join with the Lakers, I don't see it happening. I personally would love to see Bradley Beal. I personally would love to see Bradley Beal team up with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. However, if you do a trade for Bradley Beal, that means that you're going to have to give up a lot of your bench. And to me personally, I'd rather just keep the bench as it is. I don't want to trade Montrezl Harrell. I don't want to trade Dennis Schroeder. And I definitely don't want to trade someone like, say, Kyle Kuzma. Now, if it was a situation where, say, you would only have to trade like, a few picks, which the Lakers do not have any first-round picks due to the trade that they made for Anthony Davis, then that's a different story. But overall, I think the Lakers are in a very great position. I think it's just more so in terms of them just getting back into the groove of the back-to-back games and then just playing like precise, consistent defensive gameplay. Offensively, we're great. We have no problem with the offense whatsoever. But defensively, I think there could be a little bit of tweaks here and there. But outside of that, I think the Lakers are in a very great position. They are third in the Western Conference so far, and I only see them going from the third all the way up to the number 1 spot in the Western Conference. If not number 1, then definitely most likely the number 2 spot in the Western Conference by the time we get to the playoffs. So that's all I have for you guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe as well. Also, if this is the first time you're watching my video or coming into my channel, Automatic Victory, please hit that subscribe button and also make sure that you hit the ring bell notifications so that way when I do drop some more Laker Talk videos, or if I do happen to drop any more great content, you will be able to see it within the notification bar, regardless whether you're on your phone, your tablet, or whatever electronic device that you have. So, also, if you guys are fellow Lakers fans like me, I would appreciate if you guys were to actually comment in the comment section down below and let me know your thoughts about the LA Lakers. Do you feel like the LA Lakers should trade for Bradley Beal, or do you feel like the Lakers should just keep the roster that they have? Let me know in the comment sections. We can actually get some great conversations going. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys and stay blessed.